So I'm on here. I'm about to talk about how they gonna trade Cam Newton from the Panthers. Yeah, it's wrong. They did that nigga wrong. They doing that nigga wrong. No, but for real, y'all, they about to trade Cam from the Panthers. I got a lot to say about this. I'm about to go live with Ali once this fool comes off from watching the game, and we can talk about this because I got my own opinions about this, but I want to put him in so he can say what's up because I think it was dirty. The reports supposedly said next year that it's highly likely that they're not going to keep that nigga. He going to be cut, which is kind of trash because out of all quarterbacks around now, he's one of the only ones that actually made the ship. You got Phillip Rivers. You got that boy from the Bears that left the team, got a job in the front desk, then came back and let him on the team, and that man still had like a spotty record making the playoffs. Oh, okay. Ali's on here, so say hello to Ali. He about to join us. All right, hello. All right, Ali, you better answer this. Hey, everybody say hello to Ali.
Silly, what up? What up?
Hey. So, we was talking on here before, but we wanted to hear what you have to say, because you was basically saying how the city of Charlotte is treating Cam. Because I think it's wrong how they trying to trade him, but I want to know your opinion. What was you thinking about it?
It's not wrong at all. They've been every off season we're feeling like, this next season is our year. It's our year, and it's always something coming up. Cameron had like 3-4 different injuries, so I just feel like
You
I
didn't
don't
think it
know,
was on its way coming?
huh?
Okay. Hopefully, I say you're not about to turn down some levels. You're the best hoe ever. I owe you 300. I'm sorry. Okay, so you say you think that it was in the works and it was on its way coming. They want to ship him out.
Definitely. I think they probably think he's not as mobile anymore. They probably think he done lost his step.
So you think that he's like damaged? They think he's damaged goods because he's still a good player. Like,
Yeah, he is. But at the same time, you also got to look at it like, if they let him go, they're going to save $17-18 million.
okay, this
You
is
know,
where
he's due $20 million this season, this next season. So if they let him go, they're going to save $16-17 million.
Okay, so this is where I come in because compared to the previous quarterback, Del Home, it's a complete 180 for me because Del Home, the capacity, him being like, he reminded me a lot like Tony Romo because it was a lot of, now granted he did make the Super Bowl once, but it was a lot of letdown for the team. I feel like most of the time with Cam, he motivates your team and they make completions. It was a lot of execution that happens that did not happen with Del Home. So because of that, I don't understand. It seems like he would be so much more of an asset, and they would be so much more willing to keep him than trade him. Now, granted, what have you seen from this season that you haven't seen from the previous season, where his game is just changed?
You talking about with Cam?
Yeah, Cam Newton.
He only played 2 games this season, and you could tell that he was hobbled. He couldn't do anything. He got a bad. His ankle was bad. I mean, his foot was bad. So also, he does have a reputation for being inaccurate. You know what I mean? With his passes.
I don't think he's bad as Eli. Like the last couple of years.
Eli don't be having that protection like that. But
no, Eli be hitting ground balls all the time.
True. But even Kelvin Benjamin. You remember Kelvin Benjamin?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got traded to Buffalo, and he made a comment about that. He said that Cam a lot of times can't throw an accurate ball. So it's no secret at all. But I think they just want to save that money and probably invest in someone who, they can really build a future with. I don't think it's Josh Allen at all. I mean, Kyle Allen, excuse me. But,
Now, before I got on here with you, because we was having a private conversation, I was saying, and I talked to my dad. My dad was insinuating that my dad said basically since year one, Cam got, integrated with the Panthers, that a lot of the people in Charlotte, because he used to listen to a lot of radio stations, sports stations, with a lot of white people, clearly.
Yeah.
And it would seem like my dad would always be like, they're racist and they want to get Cam out. They don't like having that type of quarterback. And then, I don't know the history of the GMs in the organization, if, how they felt about certain stuff, because, I don't know with the Bank of America Stadium and the rest of them. It's just a lot of the talk shows acted like we would like a different quarterback anyway from year one.
Right, I'm listening.
No, you're fine. So, from year one, do you think I feel like I've heard more critiques from him than other players, and I don't think it's unjust. I heard you saying that he has injuries, but don't you think that his criticism for him is unjust? And like compared to, you got Phillip Rivers, you got the Bears coach, you got Johnny Manziel, who was a crackhead, and they gave him 100 chances, a whole crackhead in the league, drunk, partying all the time, no responsibility. But he got. Go ahead.
They didn't give Johnny Manziel a bunch of chances, and as far as Phillip Rivers goes, Phillip Rivers hasn't been to any Super Bowls. Cam has. And again, like we were talking about earlier, Cam, he's the future.
What I'm saying is, he's accomplished more than they have, so why wouldn't you try to keep him opposed to more mediocre quarterbacks? You feel what I'm saying?
So you're saying Cam has accomplished more than Phillip Rivers and them, so why wouldn't they try to keep him?
Yeah. They haven't been to the Super Bowl.
He's damaged goods, like you said.
I know. I didn't say that. I said we were insinuating that. I'm not saying
I got
damaged goods. I don't think he's damaged goods. I think he's still healthy. He's relatively young.
He can still play, but it's like you said, as far as the critiquing part, they're not going to critique a Phillip Rivers how they're going to critique a Cam Newton, man. Cam Newton is the new age. He's part of the new era that's coming in. Like when they went to the Super Bowl, Peyton Manning was retiring. Tom Brady was getting older. How much longer he was going to keep playing. And, Cam does like to showboat a little bit too. He brings excitement to the game. So they like, all right, So when you up, they're going to celebrate you. But when you down, they're definitely going to critique you.
Okay. But even with that being said, I don't feel like it's even with the accolades opposed to the criticism, because look at Ben Roethlisberger. I feel like he should have retired almost 5 years ago with his injuries. He been injured, like, as many injuries as he had. I'm like, how are you still walking? How are you still playing? But that's still their guy. The Steelers are always going to be like, that's still our guy. And I don't understand why this organization are treating Cam like that. And he's accomplished, even though Ben has given him a ring. Okay, cool.
Cam has missed a lot of games.
You said what?
Cam has missed a lot of games. I think last year he missed the last maybe 3-4 games. He's missing all of this season. There was another season where he missed a good amount of games, I think after a car accident, which isn't his fault.
Oh, yeah. I remember the car accident.
There was another
I don't think that was his fault, and they should be fought for it, though.
Then there was a season where he missed a good bit when he got that surgery, the same one that Andrew Luck had. Cam done missed a lot of time. Like, this is just part of the business, to be honest with you.
I get that, but what I'm trying to insinuate, I think it's more of a race thing, because with other white quarterbacks, they do far less and they get kept. And I know other quarterbacks that basically are in the same injury or worse injury predicament and still get tenure. And I don't understand why he's not getting a tenure with the space he's at. He's above the worst, his class of quarterbacks. And he's above his class of quarterbacks. And with his injuries, he's far less injured than a lot of the ones that get tenure. So that's why I'm just coming from, and I'm just like, I don't understand. He's not the worst at any spectrum, so I don't understand why they wouldn't keep him. But I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, and he's been with the Panthers since 2011, I believe. It's a long time. So, it's not like, he got hurt and they're like, all right, we don't want you no more. They've been investing. Yeah. Yeah. He got the big contract. He's due for another big contract after next season.
Right.
If they decide to keep him. But again, $1 million if they are to let him go.
Yeah. So wait,
So
question.
I I get it. You got people like Teddy Bridgewater for the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know him? You don't know who he is.
Yeah.
He used to play for the Vikings. But anyway, Drew Brees got hurt early in the season.
Mhm.
He filled in for him, won
Yeah.
all the games.
The sub in.
Now, next year, he can make
Yeah.
30 million. He can make 30 million next year.
No, I
Off the
understand that.
5
That
games he
happens.
did. So
Yeah, that happens all the time where, they got the sub in and they looking to fill the spot. Especially with, like, what other quarterback did it happen with where, well, it was more to threaten for the quarterback to get their stuff together. They didn't really take their spot. It was more of a threat.
right.
But I was about to say something. Oh, okay. So how long has Roethlisberger been with the Steelers? How long you think? He's been like forever. So that's what I'm saying.
Wow. It's like 2005, 6.
And how many rings has he got with Steelers? One? I think it's one. He got two? Okay. Yeah. He got two. Okay, so I understand why he gets tenure. That's fine. 2005. That ain't seem like he's been with them longer than that. It's been a long time. he seems old, bro.
2005, 2006, something like that.
Okay. Just got on. I have a theory about Cam that's drug related. I don't think Cam been doing drugs, and that's why they pushing him out.
A lot of them players do drugs.
You said what?
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to comment for the person that said that. I was just saying I think it's more like they want to get him out, and it's been like racially stimulated for a minute that they want to get Cam out. That's what I'm honestly thinking.
It's not racial, man.
I'm saying it's that because he doesn't get awarded the same. He doesn't get the same accolades for his accomplishments and the same criticism for people that would like if it was a white. Literally, you don't think if it was a white quarterback that was him in that position for the state of Carolina and he did all the Cam has done, made it to the Super Bowl, lost. Do you honestly believe they wouldn't keep him? I would believe they would keep him. I honestly would.
Listen, we got a history of holding on to quarterbacks too damn long. I'm a Jake Delhomme fan. We held on to Jake Delhomme way too long.
No, I know he's held on to Jake Delhomme too long, but he didn't accomplish anywhere as much as Cam has accomplished, or his ability. He can't run. Jake Delhomme couldn't run.
No, he couldn't, but he does have the best pass percentage and all that shit in the playoffs in NFL history, unless somebody done broke that by now. But it's just, if they ought to let go of Cam, I get it. Because every year in the offseason, around here, the energy is like next season when Cam gets better. Next season when Cam gets better.
So you're saying that's been the last 2 years?
Yes, it be off and on. Like, he had that surgery that Andrew Luck had. You see Andrew Luck is gone, right?
I mean, but that was still their guy. I think Andrew Luck, they held on to him, and he accomplished less.
He was done.
But he's accomplished less than Cam, and they held on to him pretty long, in my opinion.
You said they held on to Andrew too long? No. Cam doesn't have way more than Andrew Luck has.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Real quick, somebody wants to ask the question real quick. You mind if I add them?
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to ask you. I'm respectful. You know me.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
Okay.
All right.
I think I have to. Hold up. I have to go live. Oh, we adjourned them. If I see him, sorry to that nigga. All right, I'm about to join you. Tell me how was the Panthers? Okay. Hello?
I'm not a fan of the Panthers or Cam Newton or anything like that. No, I do like Cam Newton. Let me reject that statement.
Okay.
Related to my comment before about him having a drug problem, it's all the Panthers' fault. Cam Newton's his playing style. He runs a lot. He takes a lot of hits. He got injured. Got that foot injury, right?
Yeah.
But he never had surgery on it. Cool. But he was out for weeks and weeks and weeks. There was the rumors going around. I have an inside, I got an inside person. They're telling me that he's addicted to opioids.
Oh,
because of his foot injury.
Oh,
And then a few weeks back, they let them out of the lineup. This was a few weeks right before they were scheduled to go to London to play in that game.
Yeah.
They sent him to a drug rehab.
Oh.
In order for him to stay out that long, for the drug rehab, it was 30 days.
Okay.
So then they went to London, and he stayed home. So he wasn't on the roster, so that he can be in the drug program for 30 days.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and this goes back to the Panthers too with the contract issue.
So my question is this: they sent him to the rehab, but did whatever his doctors prescribed him to be on that, or that was his own doing?
Yeah, him overusing was on him.
Oh, okay. So him overusing was on him, but
yeah.
But the surgery itself, like what they had, why didn't they let him get surgery? What was up with that beforehand?
I think that was an individual thing. I think he might have gone to see an individual doctor, like a doctor outside of the program, and he was on the drugs, so he probably didn't feel like he needed to go.
Oh, okay.
And they started like treating him wrong. They were probably trying to have trade talks with him or things of that nature, just so he wouldn't, make a fuss about it.
Okay.
Because at the time that I was saying, remember I was talking about how they were going to London and doing all that. They were playing good because that quarterback stepped in and got a couple wins. They were undefeated with that quarterback.
Yeah. And
so they were trying to
kind of pushes him out. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
All right.
And but the drug use goes back like real far because he had a shoulder injury too.
Yeah, like
this goes back.
Said he has multiple injuries. So,
this goes back as far as when they went to the Super Bowl. That loss.
Oh.
That loss.
It went all the way
that
back
loss,
to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, to the Super Bowl they were in when he got MVP that year. All the drug use goes back to that.
So wait, okay, because when you first stated it, you acted like supposedly Cam, he has a drug problem, but it was from this injury, but he started using and abusing that supposedly back when he was in the Super Bowl, all them years back.
I would say use, not abuse, and I'm not at the Super Bowl after the Super Bowl.
Okay, so you would say he used, but then started abusing probably more recently. Because
he was nursing injuries prior to this season.
Okay. So,
and like I said, back to his playing style. Okay. They were running him and all of that stuff. Like he's a quarterback, he's a big guy, but you can't take those hits from linebackers for 10 years straight.
Yeah.
So he was nursing all types of injuries.
So you think like the his line, you don't think they're protecting him enough to cause him to be like beat up like this, or you think it's his style?
I think it's more so a style of play because once you get out the pocket, your line can't go out there.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Ali just said he never invested in a O-line. My dad says it all the time. He said that O-line weak.
For sure. But your O-line can only protect you in the front.
Yeah.
Once he gets to the second level, to the linebackers and to the safeties and all that.
Yeah.
The O-line don't got nothing to do with that, and that goes back to the coaching and them running him like he's a running back.
Yeah.
The coach has to protect him just as much as the offensive line.
I do agree with that. Like everybody talk about Riverboat Ron and that third. I 100% like a lot of his play calling sometimes be iffy. Like about 30% of his plays, I be looking like I don't know if that was the best thing for your quarterback or the best play to run at this point. So you right about that.
Well, hold up, but don't get me wrong. Ron Rivera, isn't he a defensive player?
He's a what?
Isn't he a former defensive player?
I think he was
with the Raiders.
I think he was
with the Raiders, right? He won a Super Bowl with the Raiders as a defender.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how much he knows about protecting the quarterback. He knows about hurting him though.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I don't know.
But that's interesting. Like, and that makes me think like when these quarterbacks get injured, do you think that they put them on like? How do you think the program is for them to heal? Like they put them on opioids as soon as they get injured, or what happens? Because
no, I think it depends on the quarterback, and I think it also depends on the injury.
Okay.
You know, if he's a running quarterback and he has some hurt ligaments, and they'll sit him out. A smart organization would sit him out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but if they don't only rely on him,
yeah,
they'd sit him out.
yeah.
Like if they have a great running back or great wide receivers and a decent backup quarterback, they would sit him out, especially in the beginning of the season.
Okay. All right.
You know, so
all right.
I don't know. We'll see where this goes.
Yeah, and I mean, granted, he's given the organization a lot. In my opinion, he's given more than Jake Delhomme, even though me and Ali disagree.
Yeah.
And he brought a lot of excitement to Charlotte, like a lot of revenue in general. So I would hope that he stays. He's not my favorite quarterback. Can't dress to save his life, but he's not my favorite quarterback.
Oh
but,
man,
but,
that's a whole nother live we gotta do.
Yeah, he can't dress to save his life, but I do hope he stays. I am gonna look about more of the.
No, I don't want him to stay. I want him to go to the Bears with a good defense and win and get a ring.
You're a Bears fan, okay?
No, I'm a Cowboys fan.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, but I want him to go to a good organization because he deserves it.
Yeah, that's true.
He's given the Panthers in the league so much excitement and like so many highlights over the years. He deserves a ring.
That's true.
You gotta give him this year off. He's gonna have a whole year off to recover all the injuries.
Yeah.
Then